Alrighty. I hope you're all ready. Welcome, I am BluesSTV, and welcome to the live reading, oh my goodness, of the great Dwarf Fortress story, Boat Murdered. For those of you who are not aware, this was a game way back in Dwarf Fortress' early days, which will make it rose to a high level of popularity. It's about the daring escapade of a group of dwarves, but I'll do that in a little intro here. This is going to be a live reading where I'm going to do lots of fun in voices, so if you like it, feel free to give me a follow. If you're watching this later as a VOD, feel free to comment on the video. And if you have any questions, shout them out in the chat. I might be stopping a little bit for chat here and there. But feel free to share it around as well. Thank you very much. Let's get right into it. All right, let's get some real cinematic music here. Oh yeah. That sounds a little quiet. Hold on, let's turn this up. There. Hope y'all can hear that. All right. Now we begin. I really hope this... Don't worry, for the people who are clicking in, this is going to be a different voice for each mayor, because that is the fun. Hold on, let me try that. All right. Is that too loud? Let me know if the sound quality is a little different, or if you have a different fantasy royalty-free song that you want. But yeah, let's get right into it. All right, enough faffing around. I'm faffing around way too much. All right, let's get into this. Boat Murdered. Let's go through the little bit of an introduction here. All right, so, intro by Evil Slug. What follows is a succession-style let's play of the game Dwarf Fortress. In it, we chronicle the rise and fall of the epic Dwarven Fortress, Boat Murdered. Actually, it's pretty much all fall. Each ruler will be given a single year in game time in which to manage the fortress. Then they give the reins over to the next player in line. I've added the occasional editor's note to clarify things, but I mostly stay out of the way. The madness surrounding Boat Murdered is quite apparent on its own, I feel. The official list of madmen, or rulers, as they would be called by some. I'm going to be scrolling through this on here. You'll see it on the screen. If something is not appearing properly on the screen, let me know right away, but it should be as it appears on the website. If you would like to see this yourself, let me post this in the chat, and you can read along if you want. Otherwise, feel free to watch on the screen. List of madmen rulers. We got Tourette Dog, Marijuana, Keyboard Fox, Locust, StarkRavingMads. This is the best one. This is my favorite and most people's favorite. His intro is great, and of course I'm going to be doing it in the Irish accent, or the Scottish, depending on which. It's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it. Audiobooks Possessed, yes! If you would like to recommend me to an audiobook thing, I will gladly record audiobooks. We got Bremen, Senkis, Astronomicon, Annoying, Cross Quantum, Major Failure, Mystic Mongol, Dr. Zero, and Gorilla Medic to end it all off. This is going to be a downhill ride, but an uphill ride in entertainment. That's how Dwarf Fortress goes. Goes downhill with the forts, but uphill with the fun. All right. All eras of Boat Murder's history are highly noteworthy and interesting. Things very quickly progressed from somewhat casual daily... Well, actually, this is all spoilery. All right, so if you know what Dwarf Fortress is, that's what you guys all are here for. It's sort of like a fantasy role-playing game where you control this. It's like a simulator city builder for a bunch of little dwarves. If you would like to find out what Dwarf Fortress is, feel free to check it out by just typing it in on Google. You'll find it right away. Yeah, look at all this. I'll explain things as we go along as well, because I'm quite familiar with the game. All right, first fort. All right. Here is the intro. So this was on a forum where people shared it. You can actually do this kind of thing yourself with the game if you want. It's called a succession fort, and there's a place you can actually upload your saves and share them with other players. All right, how's the sound, by the way? Everyone in the chat, Omega 13, what do you guys think? Does the sound good? Music good? Can you hear the music? Can you hear the game? Not too loud? Not too obnoxious? Okay, this is perfect music. All right.
Have you ever wanted to be a dwarf? Dig into mountain halls and fear unholy amphibious undead elephants that scale walls and murder your entire family while you sleep. Your wait is over. Your dream is here, and that dream is the official Dwarf Fortress succession game.
Your voice is invading my mind at optimal rates. Good. Rules. 1 year, 1 turn. From spring to the winter to the next. Once you see the cheery green spring has arrived text, save it, zip it, give it to the next player. That's basically how they did this for it, and they pass it on. You'll get a week from time to time. Pace the turn, blah, 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 blah. They're using the current version. Haha, 22F is ancient. That's back in the game when the game was just 1 Z level. That is another thing I need to explain. So this was made in a very early build of Dwarf Fortress. So it's going to be all 2-layer, so a lot of things are going to seem a little confusing. Or 1 layer, it's like 2D. You're looking at top-down. So things will be a little different, but the amount of shenanigans that happen will be roughly the same. Amazing. Let's calm this music down just a teensy bit. We're excited, but we're not that excited. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. All right. Tourette dog again.
Prologue. In the year 1050, the dwarven civilization of Kenmelville, the Oaken Tombs, exhausted the last of its mines. Driven by lust for gold and rumors of the priceless and all but mythical metal adamantine, a team of 7 colonists was dispatched to build a new home for the dwarves of Kenmelville in the smooth points of pride. The first year of diaries from the ill-fated foremen of the mine were recovered, giving some hint as to the beginnings of the fortress that once stood there, if not its mysterious and presumably gruesome fate.
I'm going to have that be the prologue voice guy. The 1050 Diaries. Month Granite, year 1050. We've set out for the mine, led by Miners Guild representative. The man claims to have led several expeditions, so taking his advice, we've set out with a skeleton crew. Just 1 miner, 1 lumberjack, a pair of farmers, and some craftsmen. He suggested plenty of meat, and, my favorite, booze, as well as some seeds and a few dogs and cats. He swears the dogs will pay for themselves a dozen times over, warding off larger wildlife, while cats will make indoor life more comfortable and pest-free. I thought he muttered something about their taste as well, but I'm sure I misheard. There's a prepare for the journey that shows kind of what you embark with if you're familiar with the game. Alright. The new fortress site is truly in the puckered sphincter of nowhere. The nearest civilization, if you can call it that, is a goblin citadel to the northeast, but the guildsman swears they've surveyed for precious materials. And this is the spot. There is also a river nearby, which means one underground, which means we can start our farm without much trouble once we dig to it. There's the map screen and the good old ASCII. Of course, he waits till leaving to tell me the name of the site. And here's the intro thing here. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here at Koganusan. Boat murdered. Strike the earth. Then takes off at a flat run, promising to be back real soon. Bloody nobles. But still, nothing to do but start. Stockpiles, send someone to chop a few trees, and then set someone else to dig for the river. Alright, there they are digging into the ground. There's a couple stockpiles. Later, that same month. God damn, but there are a lot of elephants around. Okay, perfect. Getting some audio advice from my wife. Hold on. God damn, there are a lot of elephants around. That is a lot of elephants indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 elephants and a giant jaguar. That is called a party in my book. Alright, hit the river. Got lucky and found it at a low point. Heard tell of some nasty cave floods, and damn glad I didn't have to see one. We can start the farm now, and carve out some of the other rooms. There they are digging into the river. Now in 2D, the rivers were kind of just in the ground at some point. You had to kind of dig around them. Month Hematite, 1050.
A few months on, and it looks like we might actually survive. We've got a farm up, got some bedrooms, which ain't much to look at, but at least they've got beds. Got a dining room with some decent thrones, and got a bunch of traps. God knows why, but the lads love them, standing around staring at them for hours. Nothing out of the river yet, and yet the elephants have been pretty quiet. Too quiet. I see them out there, staring at me with those beady eyes, those gleaming tusks, looking over the river. Elephants can't swim, can they?
They, most actually certainly can. Here's a video of an elephant swimming. I gotta be careful so I don't show anything weird. Alright. Whew! Hold on, I need to blow my nose quick. Let me mute this. Alright, we're good. Alright, so there's the river, and there's the rooms. Let's pop it up into a bigger screen. Can you guys see that? Yep. You got your river here, you got your little bridge, you got some dig out here, you got a little nice room, you've got some tables here. These are chairs, of course. Is this what I think it is? Yes, Xavier St. Cloud.
Welcome to Boat Murdered.
This little dining room here, and there's a door at the front of it for some reason. We also got, I'm not sure what this is up here. It might be a well or something. And then we got a farm here. And this, of course, is another stockpile. And this is the outside. Looks like he's got a dog out here and some horses and stuff, and also a couple other stone stockpiles. All right.
Several pages of the journal are torn out here. These entries seem to resume sometime in the fall.
Wait, no, that was the narrative voice. I gotta remember that.
Merchants trying to dodge the elephants. This betting pool's up to 10 stone blocks and a rat skull. We really need to make some coins. I guess the trade depot has a good idea, but we'll see if we can finish it before they get here or eaten by those bloody pachyderms.
Here's another image right here. You got some, I believe, those would be some merchants, and then that's the river. I don't see the elephants, unless these R's are elephants, but that doesn't seem so. I think it's just part of the ground. Oh, is that too loud? No, it's perfect. Every time your panda turns down in a way, it looks like you're having a nose party. A nose party? Just cheering myself up for the stream. All right.
Now riddle me this. What sort of soft-headed, beard-gnawing merchant graves brays goblins, mountains, more goblins, and then those damn elephants to show up with nothing but one piece of cheese and 2 rolls of cloth? These merchants, that's who. I noticed one tried to eat his own ear coming in. God knows how they're going to get out. Fortunately, they're dumb enough to take some of these useless trinkets in trade.
A sandstone harp? I'd buy that just because it sounds interesting. But yeah, look at that. So this is what the merchant brought on the left. This is what they're trading. So they're trading some talc bracelets, talc rings, talc stone harp. And then we got basically a piece of cloth, a cave spider silk cloth, and 5 pieces of dwarven cheese. I don't think I've ever had a caravan bring so little in my current game. All right.
Month timber, year 1050. Fall's setting in, and it seems like a good time to take stock of where we are before winter gets around to killing us. Our bedrooms and dining rooms are finished. We're running low on booze, so we need to put a still together. I've never seen the lads put any building up so fast. And we've got a butcher's shop behind closed doors so the squeamish don't get put off by their meat, seeing where it comes from. There's also the statue garden to get them away from throwing rocks across the river at the elephants. Oh god. And the kennels so we can start training the dogs. One of the peasants has been working on smoothing floors in the dining room. Looks like she actually picked up a bit of a knack for it. The farm's unattended, but we've got plenty of food, so I'm not too worried. What does worry me is the wildlife. They're too quiet. I know they're planning something.
Great Pedinsky 22222. Are you alright? Here's the picture of it. Someone became a mason. I believe that's from smoothing the floors. We got the tables in here still. This is, not sure what that is. I think this should be a room. Very small rooms. Basically a space and then the bed. Barry's playing. Okay, seriously, lay off the nose candy. You're getting twitchy. Am I looking down too much? I'll try to keep my head straight.
Alright, coming soon, the conclusion so far to the first uneventful first year, and the save files for Megor.
Alright. This is the same guy still.
Month, Moonstone, 1050. Growing season's over, so I've got a new project for the lads. With a bit of digging and creative channel building, we can get a nice moat set up and hopefully keep away most of the wildlife. At least from the north. We'll put up a drawbridge over the top of it so we can seal off that side if the elephants get too close for comfort. One of the lads thinks we might be able to set up some traps up there for critters if we work a bit. Might kick up our breeding stocks for food a tad.
There it is, digging it. And then I believe he's going to put a bridge in there, this little dwarf. Alright.
Month Opal 1050. Those effing monkeys. I didn't even see them come in, but one of them ran off with something.
Looks like he stole an iron shield. There it is right there. I don't see the mandrill. They sometimes run in and steal your crap in the fort. I've had that happen to me with the goddamn langers. Ugh, hate them.
Oh, shoot. These are not cute little chimpanzees. Oh, no. These are big mandrills, pissed off and greedy. They feel justified in stealing anything not nailed down. And if they can pry something, for instance a dwarf's arm, loose, it ain't nailed down in their book. The whole horde of them busted in looking for God's knows what, and one of our war dogs went out to fight them off. Which didn't go so well.
It looks like here is the dog. And I don't see the mandrill. It's kind of hard to see in ASCII. Oh, there's the dog. It looks like it got myrtleized by the mandrill, wherever it is. Alright, one sec. I gotta blow my nose really quick. It's driving me nuts. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. My nose is clear, and so is my heart. I don't know why I'm still talking in that voice. Hopefully I won't get, like... Oh, the music sounds like it's a little too low. Let me turn it up. Alright, let me know if it's too loud, too quiet, while I get back to Boat Murdered. A few more war dogs ran out and attacked. I have to say I'm slightly terrified by them. One of the bitches actually gave birth while she was attacking, and her puppies joined in on the carnage. At the end of the day, the 3 mandrills were dead, and they took 1 war dog with them and injured 1 other and a puppy. So what they mean by the B word here is the actual dog term, so I'm not swearing technically. Haha. Here it is, you see some damages, looks like left mouth, and the war dog is unconscious. It's got a hurt mouth. Poor dog's in sad shape. He keeps trying to find the dwarf who trained him, and then passing out. A few minutes later, he'll wake up, take another few steps, and pass out again. I'm tempted to have him put out of his misery by the butcher, but nobody will touch him, and seems a sad way to treat someone who fought off the mandrills. The puppy's still running around with half his chest missing. Makes the most disturbing when he humps your leg, I'll tell you that. Month Obsidian 1050, that's the last month. And with that, I'm off. The fort's in passable shape for the next overseer, and got the drawbridge hooked up to a lever in the statue garden. There's some traps in the river entrance. And, well, got most of the livestock crammed into a cage near the butcher. Everything's starting to look fit the next spring. I'm leaving, if I can dodge the elephants one last time, and if the mandrills don't get me first. Here's the fort I left it. Let's see what the future has for it. And here is the fort. You got the stockpiles, you got that little drawbridge right here in that little entrance. Stockpiles for stone. We got the main hallway here. We've got, of course, that eatery that looks like it's been smoothed and engraved to make the dwarves happy. You got your bedrooms here. Where's that butcher? This is the river, of course. There's that bridge. I don't see the animals. I think I'm too used to animals having different icons. Whatever. Back into it. Alright. And I'm spent. Next. Alright, this is the next person, so they will have a different force. Marijuana. Alright. I came to this dump looking for a royal fortress. Instead, I found this hole in the dirt, complete with useless hillbillies. There's not a good crafter among this lot, and I hear there'll be a whole troop of unskilled immigrants coming in from the homelands any time now. Better stick to the basics and gather some food so we don't all die. Pull the damn lever. So we've got, I think the lever means to get to the outside area. Oh no, I didn't think they'd be coming this early. Third fell sight, 1050. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure my face rig isn't freaking out. Okay. Some blockhead is holding my carpenter shop hostage and demanding shells and wood. I've ordered the worthless immigrants to go fishing. Who knows, maybe one of them will find a dead turtle in the riverbank. So these are the migrants he was talking about early. So we've got like, oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 migrants. That's a lot. So this is the next dimension. This is a stack. This is a stack of 18 dwarven syrup roast. The ingredients are minced longland grass seeds, minced longland grass seeds, minced horse meat, and minced dwarven syrup. 6th Hematite, 1052. Remember that nutty dwarf who took over my shop? Well, oh wait, no, I missed it. Oops. 7th Fell Sight, 1052. Nothing gets you going in the morning. Quite like a delicious syrup roast. It sticks right to the bones. And that's the syrup roast with the dwarven syrup that's been minced in with seeds and horse meat. You know, that might be good, actually, considering some of the stuff they make in this game. Alright, Hematite 1052. Remember that nutty dwarf who took over my shop? Well, he finally found everything he was looking for, and now he's made a legendary table that he calls Sound Syrup. He drew some scary werewolves on the thing, but it's pretty nice. Assuming we can ever get him to drop it, this will be great for our dining room. Here is the item, Votable Sound Syrup. I wonder if it was for that syrup roast. This is a mahogany table. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of kapok and turtle shell. This object is adorned with hanging rings of mahogany. On the item are images of werewolves and kapok. That's a nice table. Alright, 12th Hematite, 1052. Today, one of our apprentice craft carpenters fell asleep on the bridge and was swept away by a flood, never to be seen again. On the same day, the metalsmith gave birth to a beautiful baby girl named Doran Clearing Silvers. Also, Mandrills stole several objects we had lying around outside, but nothing important. Just a few bits of clothing and an iron helmet. First Malachite 1052. We have so much food that it's beginning to become a bother to store it all. I've reassigned most of my dwarves to work on a secret project. 17th Malachite 1052. Oh my goodness. A farmer tried to organize a party in the statue garden when everyone would needed to be working, so I locked the bastard in there. I hope he enjoys partying alone. Oh no. Next one. Damn snake men. They came out of nowhere and mauled one of my masons. Why did it have to be one of the useful dwarves? Now he'll never work again. Yeah, look at that. He's like got missing his right hand. His right lower leg is mangled. Man, he's messed up and he's tired. Nothing worse. Alright, 24 Galena 1052. We finally have enough housing for all the freeloader immigrants. It's a good thing, too. They were getting restless, and restless dwarves soon become angry dwarves. There's all the new bedrooms drilled out. Alright, 12th Limestone 1052. One of my jewelers was possessed during early summer. It's now autumn. And only now did I figure out what he was asking for. Raw crystal glass.
I got it made for him with a bit of effort, and he took that and several rough gems he had made and made it an amulet called Necro Clearings. It sure has a lot of spikes.
This is a red spinal amulet. Oh, craftsmanship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of red spinal, aquamarine, crystal glass, and green glass. Oh my god. How would you even wear the thing? You'd end up drawing blood every time you put it on. Sorry for the pauses, I'm just taking a drink. Okay. 24th, Limestone, 1052. Secret project completed. When enemies try to siege our beloved boat murdered, we can retract the main bridge by pulling the lever in the southwest corner of our statue garden. This will force them to walk through the southern gallery, where we will fire upon them mercilessly with the 2 ballistae in the east. For some reason, we need to drain the water. Pulling the northeast lever in the statue garden will accomplish this. There is that little watery area that he was talking about. Alright, 26 Limestone, 1052. The Dwarven Traders are back. I gave them some of the junk that the previous overseer left in here in exchange for quite a bit of meat. 4th, Timber, 1052. It is late in autumn now, and another damn immigration has arrived. Why didn't anyone tell me about this? I had everything nice and neat. Oh, forget it. I always knew I was destined for misery. There's a new migrant wave up there. Alright, 7th Timber, 1052. The lengths of my brewers and threshers were traveling to get barrels and was really starting to annoy me. And so I've made the immigrants move all furniture indoors. There he is moving everything inside, so it's easily accessed by his workshops. 27th Timber, 1052. We have tunneled new rooms for the fall immigrants. It's taking quite a long time to get the place furnished, though. Winter has come. Thankfully, we've more than enough beer and food to last. Here is a map of the fortress as it is now. Let's take a peek. Oof. There, of course, is the river. The elephants are on this side. This is Boat Murdered. You got that little flooded passageway where they can get in, get shot at by ballistae. Then, of course, you got the tables, you got the bedrooms. Still a little bedroom area there, workshop area. Yeah, basically all pretty simple. Also a couple ponds. This is a river. I suppose I should explain every little bit to make sure. We are getting overrun with animals. I think I'll need to butcher or two to sort this problem out. I'm guessing horses, dogs, horses, a couple dwarves, cats, dogs, horses. We're gonna have horse meat on the menu tonight, boys. 12th Moonstone, 1052. By the gods, another jeweler is possessed. I hope this asshole doesn't want crystal glass too. 26th Moonstone, 1052. The jeweler has finished the artifact. Behold, the bronze mist, a green glass portal. This isn't a green glass portal. All craft dwarf ship is of the highest quality. This object is adorned with hanging rings of pigtail and menaces with spikes of green glass, rose quartz, and limestone. On the item are images of flies in limestone. Wow, that's a very disgusting thing to put on there. All right, 16th Opal, 1052. It is midwinter, and I am pleased to note that the immigrant housing is completed. I have also constructed an armory for our future defense force here, near the barracks, with a stockpile in the south for weapons and a stockpile in the north for armor. There it is circled on the screen there for your viewing pleasure. By the way, welcome, I am Blues STV. For those who are just tuning in, this is my live reading of Boat Murdered. I also do Dwarf Fortress tutorials live every Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Feel free to tune in if you want to learn how to play this amazing game. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy. Let me know if there are any audio issues or screen issues, and just listen to my scrumptious voices. Also, let me know if they're bad. All right, the Mandrills have come back, but this time we got them. Wait, I missed one. 8th Obsidian, 1052. The poor mason who was ambushed by snake men died of thirst today. He had been refusing to eat or drink because he was so depressed. 19th Obsidian, 1052. The Mandrills came back, but this time we got them. Sure, they ripped a craftsman to pieces, but we got every last one of them. Mandrill hats, anyone? There's a bunch of dead mandrills. Those are those M's. There's a dead dwarf, I think, or wounded. And yeah, spring has arrived. It is Granite 1, 1053. With that, the final map of the fortress, I bid farewell to the outpost of Boatmurdered and wish the best luck to my successor. And yeah, it's pretty similar to what I showed you earlier, so let's move on to the next. Yeah. Part 6 by Keyboard Vox. Hold on, I have to make up a new voice every time here. Alright, I'm gonna go on my turn right now. Is it okay if I don't mess with 8 screenshots very much and instead write a lot? Oh my god. Okay, we can do this. Just gotta go inside of our special insidey place and find the strength to make a voice for this person. Okay, he's just he's talking about how it didn't work out with the screenshots. Okay, right now there's something like 1,000 edible food. Alcohol is in the 200 point. Those are good levels. Another thing, the Magma smelters, the forge up running. I didn't manage it by the end of winter anyway. Okay, stock up in Superior. That's perfect. Thank you. All right, we're gonna do this now. Best Foppy voice. I have arrived. It is an interesting fortress setup, quite unlike the ones I'm used to designing. My first reaction is to set up and produce as much food as I can until I realize that there's plenty of prepared food, and the fortress should hold out there. Still, I shall be setting up the farms and growing plenty of plump helmets. I know from experience that overconfidence equals starvation, and as far as food is concerned. After a few minutes of studying the layout, I decide that my talents would be best used in making sure things more secure. The system my predecessor set up looks workable, but in my experience, everything can be improved via liberal application of traps. First, I cancel the crafts dwarves' repetitive making of bone crafts, and set them to making dark stone short swords. These work just as well as steel swords, and will be perfect for military or trap usage. I also designate an obsidian stockpile nearby, so they have plenty of material to work with. At this point, I notice the complete mishmash my predecessor has made of job settings. Obviously, the buffoon has never heard of specialization. I take some time to turn off fishing on every dwarf I can find. We have enough food through farming and cooking. We do not need to waste time and efficiency wading through the river. I decide to start by digging a tunnel deeper into the mountain, testing to see what is there to be found. The idea of our dwarves carrying stones endlessly offends me. I remove the big stone stockpile, and the masons can carry their own damn stone. Speaking of stockpiles, the furniture stockpile didn't seem to have anything allowed in it. What sort of imbecile was my predecessor, anyway? Our miner has found a huge chasm. Our metalsmith has been possessed. He immediately runs off to soak in his bedroom, which leads me to notice that we do not have a forge set up. We have struck iron ore. Slate. Finally, our non-possessed metalsmith has gotten around to starting work on the forge. Why we have so many dwarves on stone detailing duty, I shall never know. Another thing that seems odd to me is that our loom is a distance away from the river,
and the farmers' workshops, both of which would be logical places to put it. Again, I have to just wonder just what was my predecessor thinking. The possessed metalsmith has claimed the newly built forge and started demanding an ore we do not have available. I set out our miners to work immediately in hopes of finding it. I also am designated an elephant trap, which might also work against sieges. Just as I was typing that last entry, immigrants arrived, among them 3 nobles, the manager, the sheriff, and a house-bred representative. Damn, that's a lot of migrants. Our fortress is now 58 strong. The possessed metalsmith has begun his construction using 2 iron ore. I'm just gonna tilt my mic up a little bit. Pardon for the noise. Gotta get that larynx open. No one likes a crushed larynx. Unless you like crushed larynxes. I don't judge you if you like crushed larynxes. Well, maybe a little. Alright. I begin designating the nobles' quarters, planning on using the same place for their dining and sleeping needs. The possessed metalsmith has created Dosimundo Scalficod, an iron toy hammer. I wonder if it works as well as the real one. Felsight, our cage traps have already proven their worth, as they have captured an entire raid of Mandrills. It's not proper for me to do so, but I feel the need to taunt my predecessors. I have begun building a second farm. The congestion of horses annoys me. I have designated a number of them for slaughter. The miners found a river of lava, magma, or whatever. Unfortunately, it did not flood. And thus ends spring. More to follow soon. More with keyboard Bach. Hematite. The noble's quarters is finished. The house-bred representative is whining about not being high quality enough, but screw him. Our legendary miner headed out to work on the elephant trap, and the elephants ran away from him. Things didn't fare so well for the non-legendary miner, though, who got severely injured. Malachite, some more migrants have arrived, right into a herd of elephants. 1 dead, 1 injured. 2 dead, 1 injured. The migrants led the elephants right into the cage traps I set up. 6 elephants captured. Galena, the elephant trap is complete. Things have been rather quiet recently. I'm starting to worry something's about to happen. I am worried about the future of our fortress, namely the next rulers will not be as security-minded as I am, so I shall flood the chasm with magma/lava, and kill all of the unnamed horrors within. Construction has started on the second farm. A metalsmith has been possessed. Since I am doing heavy-scale lava flooding right now, building a magma forge isn't feasible. Once the chasm is filled, I have some spare steel bars standing by. The chasm has enough magma lava in it now. Construction can proceed as planned. A note to my successors, don't pull the switch near the chasm. It causes everything past it to die from magma. Goodness. Autumn. Limestone. I am worrying about our possessed metalsmith if we cannot get the magma forge up in time. ... Construction on the magma forge has started. Now it's a race against time. A dwarven caravan has arrived. A thief has appeared, and just as quickly was struck down. 2 more elephants have been captured. A farmer has been trampled to death. I traded some bone crafts and some totems for more food. Not that we need more food, though. A fire imp has sprung from ambush. It threw a fireball at a nearby carpenter, injuring it enough so that it could go over and kill it. Then, a peasant came up and wrestled it to death.
Sandstone. Unfortunately, the Magma Forge could not be completed in time. Then the metalsmith went insane. He's currently running around babbling to himself. Correction, he ran into one of the channels and kept running upstream until he drowned. We have struck platinum! Oh, good times. We've caught a leopard. That brings us up to 5 mandrills, 9 elephants, and 1 leopard. A mason was struck down by an elephant. A war dog chased an elephant to a line of cage traps. More elephants were caught when I wasn't looking. I'll just have to wait to get an exact count. Timber. 2 more elephant-related deaths, and that marks the end of autumn. I need to take a break and get some essential homework, and then some dinner. I'll probably finish up winter on Monday. Okay, so there's this screenshot. Oh. Okay, we got the whole map here. There's the entrance, rooms, there's the new tunnel thing he dug out, there's the lava river, and there's more lava here. And of course, this is the area he dug out and talked about above. Here is 1/2 of the elephant mandrill whatever traps I have set up. I have the channels blocking off 1/2 of the map from the other, so the animals have to go through these if they want to get across. Also, that's a platinum statue of me on that water-blocked island. Oh my. There's the statue right there. There's the water-blocked island. Number 2. Look at the improved defenses. All of those brackets are traps. The red ones are weapon traps, and the white ones are stonefall traps. So, weapon traps, stonefall traps. Nice. Pretty good defense. Alright, what's next? 3. The Noble Quarter recently expanded so that there's more room for, well, expansion. Also, a party has started in the statue garden, and one of our new pet elephants is in attendance. Oh, so we tamed some of the elephants. That's the elephant. There's the dwarves. There's the party in there, apparently. These are the nobles' quarters. The second farm in a small furniture storage. Also shown, dwarves smoothing the main pathway. And there's a dwarf right there, and there's a dwarf right there, and they're smoothing this. The chasm with the beautiful red line of death, and the lever you remember not to pull. By the way, a lot of weapon traps, 3 redundant bridges, a magma blocking channel, and the beginnings of the strip mining project. So this is the strip mining project. He's got a bunch of pillars in here. That's these lines here. This is the chasm, which he flooded with lava, so no nasties would come out. Basically, think of the bridge in Lord of the Rings, where the Balrog fell into with Gandalf. There's the strip mining again. Deep within the mountain, ore stockpile and magma smelter forge. Also the magma floodgates linked to the River of Doom. I've put down some channels just in case someone does pull the lever. Pull the lever, Crunk! Alright, part 8. We're on to a new one. Oh, okay. And he proposes, I propose, that we each name 1 dwarf after ourselves and end our reign and retire, get demoted for gross negligence. I can do that retroactively for previous rulers if you think it's a good idea. And that's what they start doing, actually. They make the previous rulers into the fort. Alright, stay in your seats, everybody. Once we get to StarkRavingMads, that's the good stuff. Alright. Alright. First, Granite, 1054, early spring.
I have been selected as the new interim ruler of Boatmurdered, which is well on its way to becoming a fortress. In hostile lands such as these, security and provisions are my foremost concerns. Although I was worried when I discovered we had no military forces to speak of, an inspection of our trap system revealed that they are very sufficient to defeat any attacking force inside or outside. Below a full-scale siege, I looked to wells as a possible route of invading vermin, but only found barrels of alcohol. As we only have a scattering of peasants to choose from, most of which seem to be pursuing their own professions, I will wait for new immigrants to draft for our army. In the meantime, weapons and armor must be forged.
Personal note.
My thoughts linger on the sinister herd of elephants I saw lurking across the river today. I am tempted under the construction of special catapult battery which overlooks their territory in order to train our siege operators. Unfortunately, such slaughter would surely agitate the many animal handlers who has taken it upon themselves to capture and tame these monstrosities, for reasons I cannot fathom. For now, there are more pressing matters to attend to.
This is going to kill my voice. Hope it's not long. Alright. Village, Konaksen, boat murdered. These are all the current stats. Population of 58. That's really huge. Need a bookkeeper, need a broker. They've got no fish, lots of meat, plant, seeds, other, which should be prepared meals. These are all their various skilled dwarves.
Provisions are not as high as I would like, especially with more immigrants coming soon. I have ordered some of our farm plots to be enlarged and ordered the planting of the year's first crops. Noting the need for copper ore, I surveyed the walls of the cavern river and noticed a small vein. I ordered a tunnel to be dug to the source, but the work is slow, as we only have 2 miners. One of them is resting to heal a very nasty-looking wounded left arm. I do not know what caused it. In fact, I am noticing that several peasants and farmers are in similar shape. Success! Skulit Regnib, our legendary miner, has struck silver while digging into the malachite vein.
I assume that's somewhere around here. I can't see the rest of crap.
Alright. As I received early warning that the cave was flooding, I noticed that our current bridge is extremely unstable and dangerous in such a situation. Fortunately, the dwarves and animals on the bridge were not swept off when it hit, but we may not have such luck in the future. I have ordered a pair of small bridges to be constructed upstream and downstream of the main walkway, in such a way that they will not compromise the drawbridge function. An elephant caravan has arrived, and their friendship with nature seems to have protected them from the grazing elephants. I do not know the state of our crafts and trades goods, but bins are being sent to the trade depot in preparation. We traded a talc ring for 5 berries. Personal note, I grow to hate elves more and more as time passes. Still somewhat low on food. I have ordered several elephants put up for slaughter.
There's some elves popping in. Or actually, those are immigrants. Look at that. That's a lot of immigrants.
Immigrants! Specifically, 19 of them, with a mayor, a mason's guild master, and a house ferrite representative. Mayor Ral Altarsith. Personal note, I do not trust that name has settled into the noble quarters, and is already demanding 7 fortress guards. I am drafting assorted peasants and mechanics to fill this, and using 3 sword dwarf immigrants as the first squad in our new army. A ban on exporting red spinal items has just been introduced by the mayor for some reason. What does he think our enemy is going to do? Stab us with jewels? I've had little sleep in the past 2 days. I must retire for tonight. I have quite a bit of work to do in the upcoming season, mainly outfitting our soldiers with steel equipment, setting up improved magma crafting centers, and managing our food supply. I hope the coming summer proves to be favorable to boat murdered.
Alright, Keeper Fox. Dude, we have 5 metric blank tons of prepared food. We're not low on food. Locust, prepared food. They're not some kind of dainty fancy pants dwarves who don't sit in the dark and non-gold mushrooms. Seems undwarf-like. It's dwarf bread, man. The cat peed on it, doubles as a lethal throwing weapon from Tourette Dog. Locust Post, that makes sense. I bet it menaces with spikes of bread, too. That's beautiful. Alright, next part by Locust again.
After being informed by the kitchen staff that we have a large stock of prepared meals, I'm not sure I understand the purpose of these, I have focused my attention mainly on our magma forging area. I am ordering the construction of another magma smelter and bronze bars to be cast. The craft business was just interrupted by the withdrawal of society by Tosid Fire Yabby.
One sec while I post a link to this, by the way, Boat Murdered. If you want to read along with yourself, I just posted it on the screen there. This is one of the more famous versions of stories of the game.
Meanwhile, I am worried about the very unsafe construction of the halls near our magma forges.
Yeesh.
Hold on. suspicious. Rather than leaving the occasional natural supports of living stone, the previous ruler has instead dug out the entirety of this wide hallway and built rather unstable-looking pillars there. I noticed a small lava flooding space around a pillar blocked by floodgates, which is presumably part of an emergency system to collapse the roof here. But even if careless or angry dwarf were to dislodge one of them, the consequences would be catastrophic to anyone nearby. As I was coordinating mining operations and drafting an unskilled mechanic into the mining operation, another flood struck. There it is, going over the bridge. We were not so lucky this time, as the worker Aban Liznod was claimed by the river currents. However, my improved safety bridges saved the life of a farmer girl and her adorable kitten, who clung to the lower bridge until the flood receded. That's the lower bridge down there, and there's the cat. Kobold thieves infiltrated the entrance to the fort recently, somehow bypassing the cage traps. 2 were ripped apart by dogs and fortress guard, while the last was chased away by a small cat. There's all that right there. More invaders. It's good to see our cage traps are still functional. Here they are after thwarting a troop of Mandrills. I'm a bit worried about the amount of animals we have captured and tamed. Few seem to adopt them, except for the terrifying battle-scarred elephants. The amount of stray animals running through the halls has become a nuisance, but no one seems to have the knowledge or will to gild any of them. I foresee this to be a problem in the future, but I cannot bring myself to slaughter any needlessly. I have used some of our steel to create glassworking shops, as well as an additional smelter. This will speed up metal production a great deal. Unfortunately, through the reclusive glassworking dwarf has claimed the standard glass dwarf furnace thing. He has not found all that he requires to build. I suspect he is missing a turtle shell. We have asked those at the fishery to start processing fish in case one turns up. I find it hard to believe there are no shells in this entire fortress. Perhaps it's a specific type of rare glass that he seeks. No, not metal production, but metal production. Yes, Saberson Cloud. Metal production. Alright. Oh, Toasted Fire Yabby Crafts Dwarf. It's been miserable lately. Look how short these are compared to how they are now. It's probably because he failed the moon. I just meant do the death, but metal. With this will speed up metal production a great deal. Unfortunately, just whenever I see metal, I'll read it in that voice then, and I'll lose my throat. All for naught, it seems. He has gone insane and wanders the halls battling with a depressed look on his face. Perhaps it was for the best, though, as he seems to have an unhealthy interest in demons and strange idols. Note, he later drowned beneath the main entrance drawbridge. When you say it like that, we're producing hit rock songs. Hell yeah, we are. I oversaw a lot of cage management earlier. They are becoming exceedingly full, and the trappers are demanding more empty cages. All stray elephants were transported into a single cage. The animal trainers are working on taming the savage elephant, as well as the mandrills. I would like our mandrills to be chained up near sensitive areas as a form of defense. Although they cannot be trained as war mandrills, they would surely attack some invaders, and serve as psychological defense to weaken enemy morale. That is a lot of interruption by an elephant. Apparently, 2 stray elephants, 1 adult and 1 calf, were accidentally released and are now interrupting the workers' jobs nearby. The workers seem to be almost as disturbed by the beasts as I am. Tame or not, at least they have stopped complaining about the lack of traps. I am unsure how to proceed in this situation. Perhaps it is time for my earlier catapult battery plans. The area they seem to be inhabiting densely populated. But I will begin construction of siege parts and observe their movements. That is a weird sentence. There's that. I have it. On the topic of the main work storage area, I must complain about the decision of the previous rulers who placed it out in the open. It is a horribly muttered cluster of mass and barrels and shops, which are all easily immobilized by a single problem, as proven by the stray elephants. As I write, the stray, supposedly tame elephants appears to have struck down a pet war dog who wandered too close. It was probably Ikododud or Rainstocked, the rather large and battle-scarred mother of the calf. I only hope that the siege workshop isn't close enough to be interfered with by her, although I confess that this place has proven too confusing for me to locate it myself. Oof. The war dog got myrtleized by the elephants. Those are those E's there. Those are elephants. Whichever elephant was responsible for the earlier carnage, it was the male calf of Ikododud, who just now smote Cyril Zenom, another war dog, who, although not dead, probably has little time left on this earth. His name translates to Helmed Crushed, which is sadly appropriate, as he seems to have his head stomped on, and is limping along, passing out frequently. I hope to do something before this elephant gets a name for its infamy. I do not know who started the fight, but it makes no sense either way. If I had a way of finding out who trained these animals, there would be a public flogging. Ikodod just finished off Cyril, but now I heard word that someone, most likely a war dog, was struck down the elephant calf, which had wandered near the main bridge entrance. While watching this, I witnessed another elephant, most likely released from the animal cages nearby. It did not seem to disturb the dwarves as much as Ikodod did. Oh god, and one took it by the collar and led it towards the cage where Ikodod lurks before being scared away. I have a theory that once an elephant tastes dwarf blood, which is surely how this particular creature got her name, they cannot be tamed properly. Once again, a public flogging would be appropriate. The mayor ended his mandate ban on red spinal objects, still a mystery as to why he had it in the first place. Soon he'll probably be mandating something worse. I have ordered the construction of a catapult to the east of Ikodod. No one seems to be working on it. Perhaps the parts are stored too close to her, or the workers are incredibly lazy. Summer have ended, and although I have accomplished some of my goals, there's much work to be done. Oh god, this guy's killing my voice. I'm dying on stream. More clicks. I'll get lots of views. Yeah, I'm fine. Oh boy, okay, two more seasons left. Let's hope he's brief on his talking here. The music's epic now because I'm dying. Alright, Ikodod has stood a thorn in our sides for too long. I have assigned some war dogs to our small defense force, activated the squad, and stationed them near her. After a few minutes, Ineb Basmar appeared on the scene and began bravely striking Ikodod. I'm gonna call him Elephantitis, bravely striking Elephantitis with her iron sword, gouging out both of the accursed behemoth's eyes. Finally, a fellow dwarf who shares my hatred for this beast. The battle continued, with Unib sustaining only minor wounds to her body from the blind rampaging of the massive elephant. Striking her again with her sword, she heavily wounded Ikodod, Elephantitis, in the chest. The last moments of the battle were confused, as Elephantitis passed out and was set up by Unib and the captain of the guard, who had done nothing to help before, and was most likely trying to steal her glory. Unib's pet horse further obscured the fight by standing on the prone elephant until it finally bled to death. Elephantitis' reign of terror has ended. Unib has been promoted to the leader of her squad in honor of this accomplishment and her bravery in battle. Hurrah! Caught in the rain, invited her to find well. Doesn't really say much about her. Unib, a pulley culver? Swords dwarf. Oh, okay. In other news, a large dwarven caravan has been spotted and is making our way towards us. As I was waiting for them, a kobold shows its mock stupidity by running towards the gate and getting slaughtered by a war dog, a soldier, and a cat. Several dwarves seem to have taken the fool notion that there are supplies far out in the fields, and one of them, a stonemason, has paid the price for it. Rest in peace. Our fortress population is now at 75. I have traded some assorted low-value bone crafts for the exotic and interesting meats the caravan carried. As I know, dwarves have favorite meals we may not be able to supply otherwise. Elephantitus's corpse is rotting where it fell. I suppose no one wants to bury or cook it. I noticed that there are many dwarves who were idling about in the hallways, and all that food we bought was sitting in the trade depot. When I asked them about it, they said they had been ordered previously not to touch any food or to do any sort of manual transportation. I ordered several to resume these duties. It may be a problem again in the future. Mechanics seem to especially lax. A fisher dwarf nearly starved to death when a tower crab grew and blocked his path, locking him in the mill room. Fortunately, his cries were heard before it was too late. A dwarf armed with an axe struck the mushroom down. Our mayor has mandated that we make 2 red spinal items. Perhaps we had none before, so his expert ban felt incomplete. A group of frogmen leapt from the river today, killing a war dog and a stray cat. They were quickly struck down by a member of the fortress guard and various peasants. There's the cats. The jack of all trades, as Ujermil has been possessed by unknown forces. He has collected a stockpile of random materials in a craftstone workshop. Unfortunately, he stopped and is muttering to himself. He has 1 piece of clear glass, so I suspect he needs more, which is a problem as dwarves keep taking our silk bags for other purposes than to transport sand. Our dwarf has also organized a party at the sandstone statues, further slowing down our operations. Autumn has ended. Oh god, my throat is going to be dead at the end of this. Alright, let's do this. First moonstone, 1054, early winter. Due to laziness and poor time management skills on the part of the work dwarves, the red spinal item mandate missed its deadline. The mayor expressed disappointment and enacted a new mandate forbidding the export of jet items. I am somewhat unsure how to proceed in improving our fort in a functional way. The main effort of the fort is the construction of a secondary living and dining quarters for dwarves who work on the bank of the magma flow. It's a slow progress in constructing this area. It's a constant reminder of how inefficient our metal operations are because of the remote location. Now that drink and food are provided for the smiths, I would not be surprised if smelting and forging productivity doubles. I must also build traps near the workshops, as they are too vulnerable now, and occupy what will be some for our most talented and important dwarves. Welcome to stream, by the way. Welcome to a reading of Boat Murdered. I hope you're all enjoying this so far. Let me know if there's any problems or if you have any questions about what you're seeing on the screen. It's what I'm here for. Also, due to laziness and poor time management skills on the part of the works dwarves, no clear glass was ever produced. As Udramenil went insane, he started babbling at the dwarves nearby, then ran halfway across the ridge and dove into the channel, removed his pads, and went streaking haphazardly across the hallways till he reached his room. He has been locked in to prevent his lack of gob for upsetting the more sensitive lady dwarves. Note, he later died of thirst. Okay. For the less functional aspects of the fort, I have begun construction of a complex of large tombs to hold the remains of previous rulers of this fort. I have given the smaller tomb to Kalo, as he used much of his allotted funds commissioning a statue portrait. Some might say that his own tomb is receiving extra attention, but I believe I am entitled. And if someone else wants to build a fancy one for themselves, they should have thought of it when they had the chance. Note, to those who interned me in my casket when I passed from this world, please you'd provided chains to tether trained mandrills, or a suitable substitute to guard my bones from thieves and vandals. Yes, that last part kind of rhymes. I will have it engraved on my door at once. The long and quiet winter has ended, along with the interim reign as ruler of this fort. There it is, just basically talking about a bunch of crap. And a map of the fortress. Let's take a quick look at that. Got our magma thing here. We got our nice hallway dugout. This is that area he built for the craft stores of the magma smelting dwarves on this edge on the map. There's that chasm, of course. There's that river, and there's a nice new hallway with the, I believe, burial tombs. I think this must be his burial tomb, all nicely engraved out. There's that statue. There's the outside of the fort with the river. There's that flooded entranceway we saw earlier. There's, yeah, lots of stuff in there. Lots of stuff to look at. Oh my god, you can even zoom in.
There's a bunch of crossbow boats being stored, as well as a couple of siege equipment crossbow thingies that will shoot crossbows at people entering through the entrance here, as they try to fight their way through the water to get into the fort. Alright. Oh, yes. The moment I have been waiting for, at least. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am ready for this. Start raving mad, baby. The best part of it. Oh, yeah. Alright, gotta get my throat lozenged up. And we're gonna do this. Stark raving mad. This is one of my favorite parts of this. All right. Part 12 by StarkRavingMads. Journal of Ral. StarkRavingMads, Swearingen, late winter 1054. So there I am, last night, tending my tavern in Kenmilbo, and when in walks this slick-backed, noble-looking cocksucker and tells me I've got the great honor of accepting the overseer's position for one of our outposts. Honor my hairy dwarven ass. More unlikely, someone found out about the gold strike I had my men working out in the Hills of Sorrow, and this was the way of getting me out of the picture while I move on it. But what can I do? The order is signed by the king himself, straight from Cadolf effing Logum Ficuk, which means any attempt by yours truly to wiggle out of this great honor is going to end up with me getting hammering from the captain of the Royal Guard. Nice situation, eh, Chief? Well, pain or damage don't end the world, or despair or effing beatings. When the world ends, you're dead. Until then, you got more punishment in store. Stand it like a dwarf, and give some back. That's what I always say. I take a look at the maps, and sure enough, this outpost is stuck out in the middle of nowhere, smack at the smooth points of pride. Boatmurdered, they call it. A name which doesn't bode well for much of effing anything. This morning, I'm getting my supplies for the trip together, and what do I see but a bunch of hoople-headed cocksuckers loading up the wagons, and lo and behold, those horses are all pointed the same way as mine. I make a few quiet inquiries, and they're all headed to effing Boatmurdered too. I set out with all haste, figuring it best if I get a little head start on these assholes, so maybe I could get a place in some sort of order before they got there. Now I'm taking a quick breather, and I figured I should keep some sort of record of this trip, especially since I'm not so sure the plan is for me to get effing stabbed in the back by some way, or end up thrown to a bottomless chasm or something. Document what's happening, you see, and then at least get bumped off. There'll be some record of how it happened, and maybe my men back in the capital can get revenge on my poor damned soul. I probably won't be riding much more of this till I get the Boatmurdered. I need to move quickly to stay ahead of the rabid pack of immigrants breathing down my neck. I swear, I can hear their mules already. This is the dwarfiest store there be. Hell yeah, Flackaby, this is the best. Early spring, 1055. Well, I made it to Boatmurdered, and my initial impressions can be set forth in these 3 words. What the F? I'm going to include a few sketches of the place, artists' impressions if you will, so excuse me if these are a little rough, but I have to try and get my mind around what I'm facing here. There is the entrance to the fort. To begin with, all of our effing workshops and trade goods are sitting outside in the effing rain. One of the previous overseers must have been some sort of shallow-dwelling sky-gazer, because having our production out here is just inhumane to the poor hoopleheads who have to stand out there. I almost went effing crazy after being under the goddamn open sky for the whole trip out here, instead of a nice, safe cavern. And some of those poor bastards have been working out there in the open for 4 years now. 4 years! Standing out in the rain, or even worse, under that horrifying expanse of blue open sky. If that, I'm moving everything inside. Oh, and you see all those E's I drew down there at the bottom? Elephants. The previous overseer must have been some sort of sick effing fascination with them, because we've got elephants everywhere. Elephants in cages, elephants in the halls, elephants shiting about in the dining room, everywhere. I don't even know what to do with them. I guess start butchering them and hoping they make a good roast. You may also notice the lack of road or a bridge to the west. Apparently in excess of effing caution, the previous overseers blocked off the entire mountain with rivers, leaving no trade route for the human caravans. I'm going to fix that as well. I'm a businessman at heart, and caravans will come through here before I am done. A few other drawings for you. Spitting all over my screen. Most of the poor bastards here are living in 2 square rooms with a chest and not even an effing cabinet. I'm not even going to try and fix that for the current population, but I think we can do a little better for the new cocksuckers on the way. Here we have a gigantic hall where the roof is held up by effing matchsticks, and a stiff breeze will make the whole thing collapse. I don't know what kind of suicidal maniac put this together, and I'm not going to change it now, but you bet I'm not sticking one effing foot in there. I have a lot of work to do. Here's a picture of the room full of levers. A room full of levers? I don't even know what any of them do, and I'm not going to try and figure it out. With the way this place is set up, any one of them could make the whole place collapse in like an accordion. Armak, help me. Fathen Bigora. Alright, to start with, I'm going to move our food production facilities over here, near where the farm is. Kitchen, brewery, butcher, fish cleaner, the whole 9 yards. And I'll get some food storage over there too. Oh, did I mention the current dining room seats 8? And we have 74 effing dwarves? We're going to work on that too. I keep switching between Scottish and Irish, I gotta control that. New dining room and great hall will be over here, across from the food production. New workshop area and goods storage is going to be over here, south of the Hall of Suicide. Should make life a little easier for the metalsmiths too. As if you couldn't tell from the excess of traps and walling the fortress off from the world, the previous overseers seemed to have a bit of a military mindset. Me, I am a trades dwarf at heart. All of the smelters have been going full force, pounding out steel and iron for weapons of effing war. I instructed to change their focus a little bit. A wee bit. Making platinum bars here now. Elven caravan is here, of course with no road or bridge. I don't know if the pointy-eared cocksuckers will ever even make it to the depot. Sorry, elves. Alright, part 14. Well, the immigrants are here. We also got a broker, and some pompous asshole claiming to be the head of the craft stores guild. I'm thinking he's just looking for a free room without doing any work, but what can you do? 22 more dwarves, counting the nobles. This should be fun. Gonna drill out some new bedrooms north of the suicide hall. There's that hall there. The new broker immediately endears himself to me by mandating the production of toy forges. I'm tempted to tell him that I can mandate he go F himself, but I think better of to think just to put the work order for him. Late spring, 10:55. The dwarves working here are the laziest bunch of hopeheads I've ever seen. If they aren't drinking, they're sleeping it off, or storing Ibram in the stockpile, boss, which is code for effing around carrying things from place to place instead of doing some real work. I've got sweat in my eyes. Alright, there's the image of that. I have 6 effing carpenters. I asked for this workshop to be built 3 months ago, but do you think anyone gets around to it? It's a 10-minute job, and they're too busy to do it. Busy doing what? I don't effing know, since without the workshops they can't carpenter or anything either. I have 4 miners, two of them apparently sleep 20 hours a day. One is too injured he can't walk, and the last claims to be the retired ruler of this place, but he's the only guy who actually does any digging. Noticing that we have a military of 3, not counting our fortress guards, I go ahead and drafts a few more, giving me 2 squads so I can rotate who is on duty and who is slacking off in the barracks. The mayor just stormed into my office and demanded I stop the export of red spinal items. Considering I've never seen an effing red spinal and have no idea what one is, I told him I could be sure I could accommodate his request. Red spinal items shows the farm. Apparently the craft store union rules preclude me from directly asking for anything specific, including effing mini forges that our beloved broker storms into my office every day and demands. The best I can do is tell them to make toys and hope that they figure out what it means mini forges. Not boats or hammers or axes or puzzle boxes and all this other shite that I am now buried under. Not a single effing mini forge. And since the broker is pissed at me, there isn't shit all I can do about it, since I wouldn't know how to make a effing mini forge to save my life. I need a drink. Alright, Early summer, 10:55. A picture of the new food preparation area, new dining, which I am about to have engraved, and the new elephant in an effing cage storage room. We have 3 trappers, a profession that is only going to get them killed, and Amak knows the last thing we need is more effing trapped animals anyway. I told them to make clothes and said, since half of the dwarves here are walking around in tatters and are pissed off about it. The manager demanded a clear glass window in his room. To effing look at what? I asked him. Your room doesn't have a hole leading to the outside, and your room doesn't have a view of anything. The best I can do is put a window that is 2 feet away from a stone wall. He says he doesn't give a shite. He wants a window. Fine. I hope the cocksucker falls through it while drunk. So glad I got the screen cleaning rag when I spit on it. We have some really messed up room that serves as a bedroom, dining room, office, and everything for all the nobles at once. I started carving out some real noble rooms deeper in the mountain for the next batch of nobles to show up. Here in Caravan is here, but unfortunately I couldn't get the road built in time, so no wagons, so I'll have it through before the year is up though. Wagons are bypassing the accessible site because the bridge wasn't up. The humans bring me a load of meat and cloth. I trade them an elephant in a cage for everything they own. Have fun with that one, assholes. Have fun with that one, assholes. I sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't do it. Have fun with that one, you bloody loggers. That's better. I finished making the broker's mini forges. He immediately issued a mandate that no mini forges could be exported. I guess the cocksucker really likes his effing mini forges. One of my farmers took over the craft store shop. He's babbling about gods and artifacts and sketching pictures of quarries and ore and trees and shells and everything under the effing sun. I'm sketching pictures of fortress guards lopping off his head in about 2 weeks. The road is through. Welcome to greater society, boat murdered. Oh, for the love of... Why not? More migrants. Come in, cocksuckers. The more the merrier. I finally figured out something useful to do for all the trapped animals. The Barnum and Bailey Happy Time Zoo. Pictured below, still under constructions. Friends, if you'd like to look at elephants, or mandrills, or even more effing elephants and mandrills, is this ever the place for you? Here's the hall. Kind of ironic, considering my nickname at all. At least I have my crafts shop back. That's the farmer who went stark getting mad because he didn't get his fey mood finished. A frogman jumped out of the well and surprised Sibrick, one of my military dwarves. He killed the froggy pretty easily, but then he somehow got stuck in the well. So now little Timmy is dying of thirst because he can't drink from the well that his fat arse is stuck in. His friends don't seem to have any trouble drinking around him. I guess they brought straws or something. Autumn, 10:55. I told our engravers to carve the walls and floors of our new dining room. They proceed to decorate the room with some of the most horrifying shite I've ever seen. I mean, holy shite. Dwarves are trying to eat in there. Here's some of the pictures. Engraved on the wall is a superior design image of the elephant by Torret Doge, Regnub. The elephant is in a fetal position. Honestly. And this is another one. Engraved on the walls, a family decision of a dwarf by Torret Doge. Regnub, the dwarf is dead. We've got a little elephant issue happening down south. I'm starting to understand why the previous owner had 1 million of them in cages. 1 or 2 got pissed, and then he killed somebody. Now the dwarves are trying to get the items from the guys that died, and the elephants are running wild all over. A couple of the elephants got caught in the remaining cage traps though, but 1 or 2 got through. The brave military men of Boatmurdered assembled by the front gate, and they braved themselves for a rush at the mighty elephants. And it was about then that the effing Dwarven caravan arrived. I ordered the military to hold fast. Let the caravan guardsmen get themselves slaughtered by the elephants before we do. Which was also when a goblin thief jumped out and got clobbered by a stonefall trap. There's the goblin thief getting killed by that. So, the merchants arrived to see blood and vomit everywhere, us hauling corpses en masse to the graveyard, a couple of rampaging elephants. There's a bunch of dead dwarves here. Welcome to effing Boatmurdered. Hope you like miasma. There's a bunch of purple stuff, which is miasma. Dead body smells eking out everywhere. The elephant has killed so many guys that he has an effing full name on the full-on last name and a title now. But one of the dogs finally knocked him unconscious. There's a picture of the elephant. About 16 more elephants then showed up to support their bodies. The funny thing is the elephants keep trying to leave, like they're going down the passageway back to the outside. And then some effing dwarf wanders in to get the dead guy's pants or whatever, and it pisses off the elephants, and it pisses the elephants right the F off, and they come charging back the passageway again. Guess I better put in a work order for some effing coffins. These are all the dwarves running in and getting murdered by the elephants. Despite me telling the dwarves to stay inside and stop going out there, they keep trying to recover corpses. It's time for harsher measures. I told everyone to stop effing gathering everything. But it doesn't matter what I tell these morons. They're bound and determined to march to their deaths. Harsher effort measures are necessary. I installed 2 front doors and locked them. No one gets in or out. Boat murder is closed until further notice. This basically stops the elephant. I'm loving listening to this in the background. Perfect. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Morgana. This basically stops the elephant problem for now, as a temporary measure. I'm hoping they get bored when they figure out no more effing toys are coming to play and wander off. We lost about 20 dwarves to this debacle. And of course, just to add insult to effing injury, about 17 snakemen jump out of the river. We don't really lose any there except a couple dogs and cats though. Yeah, you elephant assholes. Aye, you elephant assholes. Choke on that miasma. There's the hallway with all the miasma. Meanwhile, one of my clothes makers made about the awesomest shirt ever. Stunaman broiled ages. A pigtail tunic. This is a pigtail tunic. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with pigtail and cave lobster shell, and encircled with bands of pigtail. It is made from pigtail cloth. The object is adorned with hanging rings of turquoise and platinum, and menaces with spikes of steel, sandstone, and tin. On the item is an image of dwarves and pigtail. The dwarves are speaking with the dwarves. On the item is an image of dwarves and rock crystals. The dwarves are speaking with the dwarves, and it can be yours for one low payment of a follow. You get it in spirit for following me. Whew. Alright, if you're liking what you're seeing right here, feel free to give me a follow. Appreciate it. Help me out a lot. Also, share this stream around, or you can share the VOD if you're watching this later. That also helps. Also, if you'd like, feel free to join the Discord down below. And if you want to see Dwarf Fortress tutorials, or if you want to learn to play this awesome game and make a really awesome fort yourself and a story yourself, feel free to tune in Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. when I'm doing my live Dwarf Fortress tutorial. Winter 1055. I've started a project, F the World, a top secret attempt to funnel magma to the outside. I'll kill those elephants. I'll kill all those effing elephants. I don't know if I have time to finish it, but I've also started a project, Get Me the F Out of Boatmurdered, and I'm hoping to finish that one by the end of the year. Remember how I told you that I ran into some miner, claiming to be the former ruler of this place? Well, that's just how the sneaky bastard got out of here. I finally figured it out, and I'm taking the same route as soon as I can. See, I just convinced some poor cocksucker to say it's me. Enough platinum and I'll go for it, and then I'll slip right the F out of town. Easy as pie. I already found someone who looks enough like me for it to work. I just have to wait for the right moment to escape this elephant-ridden hellhole. There's StarkRavingMads, he named the dwarf after him. The elephant doesn't seem to be leaving. They love their stench in miasma-filled tunnel, so still, no one can go outside. All the wood is outside, which means the carpenters don't have a lot to do right now. But I know if I crack the front door for them to get the wood, they would go effing running down to the elephant tunnel to go say hello to their gigantic angry-tusked friends. On the right side, we have plenty of beds, since most of the previous occupants are now dead. So we don't need the carpenters to make much right now. And you know, sometimes you think it really can't get much worse, and then it does. A vile force of darkness has arrived. The goblins are upon us. Hello, boys! Hello, boys! Is what he says. Hello, boys! Hello, boyos! Why, hello, boyos! Are you kidding me? I'm supposed to be scared of a little effing goblin siege. I'm already trapped in the fortress by 4 legendary elephants. Shites! I'm just hoping you assholes manage to kill the elephants for me. I'll give you an effing medal. The worst thing you could do to me would be to open the door, causing the lemming rush of death down the elephant tunnel again. Come on, bring it on. Alright, there's the elephants, there's the goblins. Apparently the elephants don't mind the goblins. They're best of friends. Oh, you're here to beat up the dwarves? Well, by all means, go through, be our guest. We'll just be out here chewing on these dwarf bones if you need us. There's the goblins going right past the elephants. The goblins are totally confused by this and decide to go stand by the channel. Hey, the sign on the door says closed. Shit, Bob. I thought you said it was open till 9 on Saturdays. What do we do? Maybe we should ask the elephants. They seem to have killed a lot of them. The goblins just lazily took a few pot shots at a stray cat wandering around out front. And now they just stayed out in the elephant tunnel. I think they're starting their own little town in there. Elephants and goblins living together in peace and harmony, joined by their burning hatred for dwarves. I'm starting to stumble over my words a lot. Ugh, I need another drink. Ugh. Oh, that's better. Operation If the World Has Failed. I stuck water with my aqueduct, and now the channel to the outside is now filled with water. Whoever comes after me may want to try and continue the project. They'll just have to route to a different tunnel, or maybe try to build up a military enough where they can do the frontal assault on the elephant and goblin army. Me, I am past effing caring. You see, spring has sprung, and I'm taking my effing chance to get out of town. The poor sucker would take my name, and by the time they figure out he's not me, and he's just some hooperhead who can't run a wagon mustache the fortress, I'll be long gone. New name, new town, new fortune. Nothing's worth staying here. I'm leaving the journal on the desk in the overseer's office. Whoever finds this journal, good effing luck to you. Whew. And that was StarkRavingMads, one of my favorites. Hopefully I did it justice. I don't know if I did, though. You're going to have to let me know in the comments or in the chat. This is the note from the author. Although I wouldn't be surprised if the next person decided to riddle locust save instead, it wasn't the opening up the road, the bridge that did it, because the elephants and goblins still came through the trap channel. The problem was just that I forgot to make new cage traps to reset the traps in the lower channel, so the 2 of them were alive. When the 12 elephants came crashing through, there was nothing much I could do. They ran out of that loop of trying to get to the dead dwarf stuff and dying themselves, and even sending the military just caused more losses. It was a pretty ugly round, although I did think I did accomplish some good stuff, particularly the moving of production storage facilities and getting a couple of new nobles installed. This place isn't a total loss, just as long as you know, don't open the front door. But you may be able to muster up enough of an army to overcome it, or do a lava flood of the exterior, or just pray a human caravan with some badass swordsman comes through. Aside from the whole goblin and elephant siege, the fortress is in pretty good shape. There's plenty of food, sleeping space, and production for survival. It's only a matter of clearing the exterior. Right now you're going to see a lot of error message spam since stores are still trying to do things that require going outside and there's no path to it. Good luck no matter what you decide to do with it. Whew. Do I have enough strength to read another one? You have to cheer me on in the chat if you want me to read more. Otherwise, I think I'll pause it there at part 20, and I can pick this up another day if you guys are liking this. And then I guess I just will end the stream then for now, because that's all I got for today. I guess I'll wait for y'all to respond in the chat. But I guess to those of you who are probably watching the VOD, thank you all for tuning in to this live reading of the Epic Fortress Boatmurdered. I hope you enjoyed my creative reading of it. Hopefully I did a good enough job with the voices. Let me know. I appreciate the feedback, and I'll try to change or fix things depending on not they were failures or mess-ups in certain areas. If you also want to join in on the discussion, make sure you join my Discord or comment on the video. That also works. Thanks, Rices09. Thumbs up. If you also really like this, feel free to share the VOD around. I'll be posting it up on the Reddit, of course, but if you have someone who wants to hear to a reading of it. I've heard worse readings. Oh no, is bad? Alright, well, leave constructive feedback in my Discord or in the chat saying what you didn't like or liked, anyone who's watching this. And also make sure, if you like Dwarf Fortress, come into my live Dwarf Fortress tutorial Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time Zone. We have a lot of fun there, and you will enjoy learning about the game if you don't already know. And if you're a veteran, come in and share your stories. If you've got a boat murdered stories to share, I would love to read it out for my viewers. And also, you can have fun with us. But yeah, to everyone, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it very, very much. And I hope to see you all this Sunday, or whenever I stream next. Follow to make sure. Follow and turn on your notifications to make sure you are going to be part of that. But I'll see you all in the next one. Stay zesty, everybody. And always read great stories. Here's the boat murder thing for you to read if you want to read ahead. But don't spoil yourself, because I'll probably do this again someday. Anyway, stay zesty. Bye! Oh, we're also going to raid a Dwarf Fortress streamer, so stick around. We're going to do that right away after the stream. So, bye!